Good morning, children. Today's lesson is meant for class 8, and we are going to discuss a poem, Geography Lesson by Zulfikar Ghost. Well, children, it's a very interesting and understanding poem. The children of class 8 would like to know what this poem, Geography Lesson, meant for. Obviously, this poem is written on the perspective of a person who is observing a city from above the land. I mean, being seated in a jet plane, he is looking at the city and trying to gather certain opinion about the people's perception about this world. For instance, the person who is seated in a jet plane, when he ascends the height in the sky, he is able to understand the real meaning of geography. As the plane took off from the ground and went into the sky, it becomes clear why the city was developed in a haphazard manner and why there was, there was crowd, or the city was crowded in a very unsystematic manner. A mile was reduced to 6 inches from the top of the scale, and but what looked haphazard and without logic on the ground seemed inevitable and necessary when viewed from the sky. When the plane attained 10,000 feet of height, the logic of geography unravels itself. The speaker is able to comprehend that it is land and water which are essential for human being, and therefore the city have developed, or the colonies have developed better where there is plenty of water and land. As the plane attained another 6 miles, it became amply clear that the earth was round and there was more water than land. However, the logic of geography could not be understood by the poet. Why people hate one another? Why do we kill one another without any reason? When we understand that we all are brothers and sisters and we have the same land and water, then why do we hate each other and kill each other? This was not being understood by the poet. The poet is unable to understand why do people build barriers and walls around the city. Even from that perception, we are not able to understand why these wall of caste, creed and religion have been constructed between man and man, between country and country. So this poem is beautifully elaborated by Zulfikar Ghost, and he highlights certain things which are essentially meant for all of us. The very first stanza talks about the fact that when the plane took off from the ground and it was set to touch the sky, the poet could view the city from that height, and it looked very haphazard. With the perception, the poet was able to understand that why the city had been developed in such a haphazard manner. In the stanza second, when the jet reached 10,000 feet, then the view of the city was quite different. The plane reached 10,000 feet in the sky, and it was no longer difficult for the poet to understand the logic of geography, the way the geographical and territorial spaces were designed. And the poet was still unable to understand why people construct barrier around the city. So the barrier of caste, creed and wall, religion, city and countries are the biggest challenge for mankind. And therefore, no lesson of geography can teach us this fact: why men hate each other and why do we kill one another in the name of religion, caste, and creed. So that is how, children, this poem has been elaborated. Thanks a lot.